In this tutorial, we're going to look at how to create and use labels. In Microsoft Outlook, we were familiar with having folders and subfolders. Well, Gmail took that concept and took it to the next level. In Outlook, when you put an email in a folder, it could only live in one folder. But Gmail uses what they call labels. And the nice thing with labels is an email can be assigned to multiple labels. For example, I'm looking at the training account, the training at apu.edu account, and I see this email here that I sent to training as well as Dante. Well, do we put this email in the Dante folder or the Holly folder? In Outlook, you had to make a decision, or in Entourage for the Mac users. With Gmail, we can do both. So first I'm going to create my label. And there's a couple of different ways I can do that. One is I could go up to the settings wheel here or down here to the settings wheel and click on settings. And my second tab is the labels tab. So I'm going to click on the labels tab and I'm going to come down here and create a new label. And I could create the Dante label. Now in Outlook, you remember, as well as in Entourage, you could have a folder and then have a subfolder. In Gmail, they call it a nested label. So you could have maybe a label called coworkers, and then inside the nested in the coworker label are the names of all your different coworkers. For this example, I'm just going to create the Dante label and have it be on the top level. Create, and then here's the Dante label. Now I also have the option to whether to show, hide, or show if unread. In one of the videos on filtering, we'll talk about how to really get the most out of hiding your labels until there's something unread in them. So now I'm going to go ahead and go back to my inbox, and here's my Dante label. Now I could open up this email from Dante and go ahead and say more. Hit the labels, check the Dante, and hit apply. And that's going to apply the Dante label to this email. When I click on Dante over here, I see this email. But what about me? What about the label for me? I can also open up this email and I can come here to my portion and go to labels. And this is the second way you can create a new label. I have a create new here, and this time I'm going to type in Holly and say create. So now you'll see there's the inbox label, which means it's living in my inbox, the Dante label, and the Holly label. When I come back to my inbox, here it is. Over here I can click on Dante or Holly. It's not 3 copies of the same email. It's 3 references to a single email. Now we can also color code the labels, and the easiest way to do that is I have my cursor here on Dante, move over to the right to the down arrow. When I click, here's all of my different options, and I'm going to put Dante in this color here, and then down here under Holly I'm going to put that one in purple, and that just color codes the labels, making it a little nicer to look at. Now if I want to remove it from my inbox, I can check on it and I want to press the archive. The archive says remove it from the inbox, or in essence we're unchecking this label for inbox. If I check this and I hit the trash can, that deletes the email for everyone, for all 3 places that it's referenced. So you want to just archive it. It's no longer in my inbox, but when I come to the Dante label, there it is. When I come to the Holly label, here it is. And you see the opposite label, so you see how many things have been labeled with it. One of the cool things you can do with labels is you can have a label assigned automatically when you receive an email. You'll see I have a couple of emails here. Those labels were automatically assigned as soon as the email was received. So to do that, I want to create a filter. And the easiest way to do that is to come here, for example, to the Dante, And I'm going to come here and say more, filter messages like these. If it's from Dante, I want to do something with it. And I'm going to apply a label. And we'll come here and I'm going to do a new label, and it's going to be the Dante Cordova label. And because he's a coworker, I want to nest it under my coworker label. And then I hit create, and Google will automatically do a search based on, in this case, from Dante Cordova, and it wants to add that label to all 90 conversations. And so I can check that and hit create. And now in my inbox, here's the Dante Cordova, and I can come to coworkers and I can assign a color for Dante. And we'll just do a green for him. And then when I go to my inbox, you'll notice it's green. And when I click on it, I see all of the emails from Dante. So now as a new email comes in from Dante, it's going to turn green, say coworkers Dante Cordova. If you have any questions or comments about how to use labels, please feel free to contact training@apu.edu.